Josh, if I were you, I wouldn't do that.
Well, if I were you, then you'd be me. And I'd use your body to get to the spoiler. You can't stop me no matter who you are. This is Ace Ventura 2 Spoilers.
Nicely done.
There's a man who leads a life of danger. To everyone he meets, he stays a stranger.
Hello, everyone. This is actually Ace Ventura 2 When Nature Calls.
Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls.
As voted on by the patrons.
Yes. I've been waiting to do this movie for one particular scene for seemingly 4 or 5 years now. But before we get into the movie proper, we always do an opening question and spoilers. And we are in person in Michigan. There's 7 of us around this table. We're going to go around and introduce ourselves. I know that's a lot, 7 people. What I want you guys to talk about is, what is your guys' favorite part about getting together with the boys?
Oh.
You can cherry pick anything. I thought it would be cool if people gave anecdotes about the house we're staying in this weekend, because it's pretty cool, but it's your choice. Yeah, Kylo, when you come all the way to the Midwest from Simi Valley, what do you like the most?
Oh, I have traveled long distances to see you guys. It's so awesome to be hanging out with you guys right now in this, what to me is basically a mansion.
Yeah, it's huge.
My 1-bedroom apartment does not compare to this 5-bedroom, 3-story house. There's a lot of fun times to be had here. You know, it's 11:15 at night. We've been hanging out for 12 hours now. You guys have been getting increasingly more drunk, which has been a lot of fun, seeing your guys' eyes start to close as the hours get late into the night.
Had nothing to do with the movie we were watching.
Yeah, we watched Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls Together. That was a lot of fun. Brett laughed a lot during the course of that movie, which really actually made it more enjoyable. But, you know, I like hanging out with you guys and just seeing you guys get increasingly intoxicated. It's a lot of fun.
Again, sober, but tomorrow will be different.
How much should I reveal about that claim?
Oh, yeah. I have not had anything to drink.
Brett, you're up.
What's the question?
Sober Brett.
Oh, no, I am sober. I'm just not thinking straight.
As his lawyer, he doesn't have to answer that.
Oh, I don't know. I'm from Elkhart, almost all you guys, but I live in Fort Wayne, so I don't get to see you guys very often. You know, Josh and I were roommates. We've been friends for a long time, so I like to see all the boys. That's it for me.
Nothing specific. That's basically the question wrapped up in an answer. All right. Seeing the boys is his favorite part of seeing the boys. Cool.
Okay, hold on. I didn't get to stay the whole time with you last time. Actually, my favorite thing is pointing things about the Midwest out to Corey.
It is fun to learn.
Yeah.
We went to a nice Walmart today. What's it called?
Meyer, yeah.
Meyer.
Nice
It's
Walmart.
Throw some fucking respect on Mark, bro,
It
right?
was pretty packed, though.
A worse
It's pretty
Martin's
packed.
is another way to think of it.
A better Walmart and a worse Martin's.
For those that are from California like myself, imagine a Walmart without the tweakers. It's pretty cool. Yeah. And I mean both the employees and the customers.
I remember when Corey was going to buy pre-shucked corn, and he went to go grab it, and Josh gave me this look what the fuck is he doing?
Someone said it's too dry. It's too dry.
Wait, who went to grab that?
Corey.
I think John tried to grab that too. Yeah. We haven't introduced John, so we'll get there in a second. Mike E.
Fresh.
We didn't see you last time Corey was in town. Love to have you.
Right.
But he got to see Corey, though.
Yeah, you've seen the boys before. What's your favorite
I've seen
thing
the
when we
boys
get together?
before.
Yeah.
But again, I haven't seen the boys all together in a real long time. Probably before COVID, I would guess. Just been a real long time. A lot of changes happening. Moved to a different state during that time. So it's been a while since I've been in the same room with a lot of these guys, and it's nice to be all together drinking and having fun and joking and watching Ace Ventura. Whether you like the movie or not, liked the movie a lot. It was a lot of fun to watch. I was scared for a second. Yeah, it's just nice. Like Brett, I mean, it's good to be with the boys.
huh?
Gotta be with the boys. When you haven't had it for so long, it's nice to just be in the same room. But I mean, we cooked together. That was fun. Barbecued and grilled some burgers and stuff. That was a lot of fun. But we looked out over the Lake Michigan horizon, the toxic waters surrounding us.
You're weaving a poem right now, Mikey.
Picking up some rocks, cool rocks, and brought them back. Yeah,
You got some right there.
I got my crystals here with me. But yeah, it was today. I mean, it's only the day one of like 2.5. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far already.
This is Josh from Goshen. I'm going to switch this up a little bit and answer the question in this way. My least favorite part of meeting up with the boys is a reflection on myself, because like for the first hour and a half, I have like this nervous energy and it's positive in me, but then I come out real weird. I say a lot of weird things on the podcast anyway, but like if you guys would have seen me during the first hour and a half of hanging out with the boys, it's like kind of over the top. So it takes me a while to settle down, and that's like the least. I'm trying to learn, you know.
And
You become an
first
adult.
person you see is me, and you like automatically just get filled with rage.
Definitely not, Brett. Definitely the opposite. But we have kind of a new member with us tonight, John Riggs.
Hello.
And this question is a little different for you.
Yes, sir.
What is your favorite part about today meeting us boys for the first time?
I'm just glad I'm not at work.
I
I like you guys too. You guys are good. You guys are a good group of boys. We're all gonna pod together. You shouldn't have come here.
A good day of podcasting is better than a good day of working.
No, you guys, I'm just grateful that you guys are all like, you're nice, you're friendly, you're very welcoming, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we love having you. Okay. So we have these two best friends, Stevie and Pappy. You guys don't see each other that much, do you? How often do you guys see each other? That's actually my question to you.
Spiritually
Stevie.
or physically?
I'm just wondering what's
every day on the phone.
yeah, what's the connection like?
So, Pap and I have been doing this for like 7 years now. We call each other every day on the phone, which is usually typically after work or around lunchtime to see how we're doing. So it's like I never really skip a beat with Pap, which is kind of nice. But also, what I love about being here is like, you know, kind of have a hectic job at times. I also have 2 small kids, and time can just fly by. And I feel like today time is really slowed down. And this felt just really nice being with the boys and hanging out and talking about
Press
movies
play
and
on
fun.
Ace Ventura 2 and time slows.
To a crawl.
No, that's cool. Is it part of it being like out in nature in Michigan, like
I think
slowing
so,
down?
and just like, you know, not having like time limits of like kids got to be in bed this time, I got to be up at this time, and just time is slowed, so it's felt really nice.
And Pappy, finally, what does it feel? We bought a bunch of groceries, Patreon money. Part of this is it an Airbnb?
Yep.
Yeah.
A big part of it was paid with Patreon money.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just talk about that a little bit and the boys.
Well, yeah. I mean, none of this would be possible without the Patreon. So clap it up for the Patreons. Thank you. Hit the applause button. Unhit the applause button. No, it's pretty incredible. Like when we started the podcast, it was like we just want one rando to listen to us. Remember, like if we can make one random fan,
person
that
make
would
happy,
be enough.
it'd be
And
enough.
now we're like podcasting together. And listen, the boys are fine and all, but these fabulous prizes we've been playing for, this is what it's all about. I won't reveal because this is going to come out before the podcast we recorded, but there was an ultimate prize and somebody won. We're playing for something almost as cool. A Fast and Furious Ultimate Unofficial Guide.
Ooh.
People are wondering how
maybe
can
Paul Walker.
how can something be almost as cool as that?
In print form, like a rare medium.
Yeah, it's 5 of a kind or something. $13.99 value, US. The boys are fine, but prize are what it's at.
Well, you guys want to talk about Ace Ventura too?
Yeah, might as well.
Thank you, because that leitmotif happens quite a bit during the movie, doesn't it, Stevie?
Even before it's explained.
Yes. Before we even know what a bat is, we hear Chicago in the background.
Before they explain to us what a bat is.
We started off as a group pretty hot when we were watching this movie. Kylo, explain to us the cliffhanger of an opening that is Ace Ventura 2.
The only thing I know about the movie Cliffhanger is that it's parodied in Ace Ventura 2.
You haven't seen it?
That's literally the only thing I know about it. So this, I know
so
you guys did
good.
a podcast on Cliffhanger, so that might be a better question for one of y'all that was on it. But the very beginning, we meet Ace Ventura, free soloing, vertical cliffside.
Can I interrupt this, actually? What do you think happens in Cliffhanger, knowing what you know about Ace Ventura 2?
Good question.
I'm going to guess it's not a raccoon that falls.
You'd be wrong. It's a family of raccoons.
No.
All babies. You're not wrong, Kylo. Please continue on spelling out the beginning. Sorry to interrupt.
Well, Ace Ventura is on a case. He's in the middle of a case. He's got to rescue a raccoon that was stranded up here in this mountainside when there was a plane crash. I assume all the people are rescued or dead.
They don't matter.
They don't matter. He's a fucking pet detective. As he explains in the first movie, he doesn't do humans. So he's here to rescue a raccoon. He tries to. The way the movie is shot is pretty interesting because we see him create some kind of like Batman device, right? Where he has a wire going from one mountain to another mountain, and he's got to get across it with a raccoon attached to him. But we don't really see a lot of that because they are using a live raccoon in this movie. But as they're crossing, we do get the idea that the straps that are holding the raccoon, they bust, they break, and the poor little raccoon falls to his death. So Ace Ventura has failed. So this is something that I don't think we see a lot in the first movie. We see Ace Ventura fail, and we see that a couple times in this movie.
Good character building.
When they showed the close-up of the panicked raccoon's
One of the
eyes,
funniest parts of the whole movie.
the house came down.
Because it goes from his eyes to the raccoon's eyes.
really
and the
good.
raccoon's eyes are hysterically funny. Like, I know it's a sad scene, but it's up there with, like, he fell. Like, it's fantastic.
I heard Amira say something about the real raccoon.
She goes,
didn't
yeah,
she?
it's a real raccoon.
I don't know.
I said that.
I like the shots of the raccoon suiting up in the vest, the close up of his fur.
It looks like Ace is gonna just murk him with an arrow at one point, and he it hits the rock next to him, and that's like the line they gotta cross. But Ace Ventura fails, like Kylo said. So John, you can get in here a little bit. What does Ace decide to do with his life since he failed this single raccoon in the Himalayas?
He does what any of us would do, Josh, and he goes and joins a monastery in the Himalayas, I believe, and he tries to find himself and achieve some tasks that we're kind of told about. I don't know.
He wants to achieve omnipresent supergalactic oneness.
Okay.
There, you just achieved it.
Thank you. Astro projection and peace. Yeah. That's what it seemed like. But he just was kind of there, and they didn't want him there. You slowly find out, and then they're throwing a party when he leaves, which is one of the best punchlines to me of the entire movie. When they're partying, you see the monk running in his underpants.
The monk
Hilarious.
with the pot on his head, just
Hilarious.
It was
So
funny. I think that's a mistake in this movie.
Oh, really?
Because I feel like if the monks, somebody needs to like Ace. He's so unlikable in this freaking movie.
The princess likes Ace.
Yeah.
A lot.
Wadsworth or whatever likes him, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, he respects him for his intellect or whatever. But I wish the monks thought he was goofy, but in a weird monk way. He kind of fit in with them, but they are just unabashedly so fucking pumped he's leaving that day.
Corey, was this a ripoff of Problem Child? When
Oh,
they throw a
shit.
Party.
Like the nuns do the party after.
The penguins.
They're doing flips and shit in there too, aren't they?
Oh my God,
Isn't there a
yeah.
nun doing flips?
Yeah, dude.
We need a 1-for-1 nun and monk doing flips party for this.
Which came first?
Denial can be
Problem child, I
Problem
think.
child.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was early 90s.
1990.
Ish, looking bad. But then we were told that today, I just found this out, production was held up on this film. So when was it supposed to come out?
Ooh, let's tease that for later
Okay,
because
sorry.
there was
Came
some
out on time.
Get your friend on the phone.
maybe some unflattering Jim Carrey facts coming up later.
Jim Carrey? Well, no.
He would never.
Behind
Mikey.
the scenes, bad?
Do you feel like Ace Ventura is a likable character? We've seen him drop a raccoon. We've seen monks hate his ass. Where's he going in life, and do you like him where he stands?
I mean, personally, do I like him? I mean, he would be an insane person in the real world. He'd be a very scary person to just be around all day, every day. Women love him. The one woman in this movie fucks him like immediately. So he has like some sort of voodoo hex over women.
Her and Courtney Cox, yeah.
Courtney Cox does him in the first movie. You're right, man.
Yeah, so he's got
Same with
something
the lady
over
with the
women.
dog. She does them too.
Something about his animalistic instinct,
He's the James
And
Bond
Einhorn
of
wanted him.
animals.
Yeah, he's the James Bond of animals.
Yeah, that's the other guy who fucks the gorilla.
Oh man.
What was the question?
I think he answered it.
Yeah.
If he's likable.
Yeah, I was actually going to pass to Brett. You kind of stood up for this character earlier, but the other guy who kind of respects him, I can't remember his name, the little
What? Greenwald? Yeah.
Greenwald,
Greenwald?
who
Just
plays
Greenwald.
him?
Ian McNeice.
Somebody fact check that. I don't
Yeah,
think Stevie
that's
cheats
I've
at
heard-
trivia, but
Two different people say that, so I'm going to guess that's it.
okay, so there's someone, it's like this British dude that kind of headhunts, not in an African tribal kind of way. He headhunts him for a job. He's like, hey, Ace, we heard you're the best. I came all the way out here to get you. Brett, talk about this character a little bit. What does he try to do with Ace? Just what is his general personality? Because he is someone we should illuminate a little bit.
Yeah, I would say a lot of movies have someone like this. He's kind of a bridge between, it's like a fish out of water tale, but he's trying to help him not be out of water, but the guy's such an idiot that if fish out of water is not the right one, just like out of place. And he's a translator. He tries to tell him his customs. He tries to keep him, but he also laughs and smirks at a lot of the stuff that Ace does. But
What does he say when Ace is giving him like flat tires
it's
over?
like, oh, thanks. What is,
That joke has run its course.
So he's
It's
like,
funny, but my ankles are a bit raw.
I guess he'd be considered maybe the straight man. I mean, dry. He's funny, but in a dry way. Like the exact opposite of Ace Ventura.
You're supposed to like Ace Ventura. Like he likes Ace Ventura. I think he's obnoxious as shit. Like
I would hate to be friends with him.
Yeah.
I like to watch him, I guess.
When I was a kid, I thought Ace Ventura was the coolest fucking guy
Yeah.
in the world. And I would try to like do his little bits in school. I wasn't the only kid in America that did this, by the way. So don't look at me weird.
All kids did. Yeah.
Were you
did
talking
that.
with your ass?
I may have done that in 5th grade in 1995. 10 years old. I thought he was so funny and charming and all this stuff, but like I also thought John Bender from The Breakfast Club was pretty fucking cool, and he does some very sinister things. You know, it's like when you're a kid, like this like exaggerated character that like exists among normal people can be endearing in a weird way. And plus he's funny, right? So if he's funny, he's automatically working for me as a kid.
Is it like this dream of like what you would like to do if it wasn't socially unacceptable? Because he just does like whatever he wants to do. He spits the sunflower seeds in a pile on his buddy's arm, who we're just talking about. What's his name again? The straight man? Greenwald.
Dude, this reminded me, the seeds part, I actually like the seeds part in the first movie a lot, where he puts them on the desk. And
Disgusting habit.
Ashtray? Yeah, disgusting habit. Really freaking funny. Yeah.
Stevie, where does Greenwald take Ace?
To parts of hell from his annoyance. But it's called Nibia?
Libya, it's not a real country.
It's not a real country.
No.
We go to Africa, and after some hijinks of driving through the jungle, which is actually a funny part, we go to this kind of upscale consulate brunch soiree, and Ace becomes. Here's a scary part of sequels, and the scary thing that happens to characters in sequels is you never want to become a parody of yourself, like a character-wise. I feel like this happens immediately in this movie, which is like Ace becomes a parody of Ace Ventura, like especially with like lemons in the eyes and asparagus in the teeth.
Yeah,
That's funny. I liked it.
Is it? Is it funny?
He's got fruit face. Yeah,
It was funny when I was 5. Like, but as you get older, you're just kind of like,
Stevie's coming in hot right now.
Is it really that different than the first?
Yes.
You think?
He's more normal in the first movie, and he has these weird accents.
Yes, he's more eccentric.
And this movie takes all of those, and it's like all the time.
Yes. So he kind of became a parody of himself.
That's why I think the first one's a better movie.
Did you guys ever get that surreal feeling that we are 10 grown-ass adults watching this movie right now when he's doing some of those like super cartoony things that are clearly for like a 3-year-old?
Hey, the patrons could have picked Dunstan checks in, and they chose not to.
They could have chosen a mature movie.
Yeah, they could have chosen a more grounded movie if they wanted, like The Happy.
Were you feeling that at all, John? A little bit of a
part?
surreal watching Ace Ventura 2 with a bunch of adults.
No, because we do this kind of thing all the time with me and my friends. And I actually, I agree with Corey where, I used to talk with my ass on the playground after seeing this movie, doing Ace Ventura bits. So I used to try to like mimic like his facial movements in the mirror. Like I really did. That part's true, that ass thing, maybe. But, I used to do that because I wanted to be like Jim Carrey, like so bad. I liked him. And yeah, he's an obnoxious character in this movie. Now as an adult watching it, Steve hit the nail on the head with a lot of the stuff, but also at the same time, the asparagus in the teeth and the fruit in the eyes, it's pretty funny. It's still funny. I laugh pretty damn hard at that.
What about when he punches a man and he wears him as clothing?
That's funny as shit.
I know one joke that was real weird for our group. Ace Ventura's on a plane, and the poor flight attendant just goes, peanuts? And he goes,
Peanut?
Yes, I have one right here. It's bulky, but I consider it carry-on.
Peanut.
Oh, I see.
penis? And he's like, he does this whole thing about how like, mine's pretty chunky, but I wouldn't say it's for sale. Or I don't know what the fuck he says.
It's a carry-on. I consider it carry-on.
And know what?
I like Josh's better.
Mine's pretty chunky.
I just take that as he's so used to women liking him, he thinks he's just always hitting it out of the park.
Yeah.
So many women ask him about his penis. Any word that starts with P, he just assumes.
Josh, mine's pretty chunky would be absolutely amazing. I love that.
But it's not for sale.
If it's a chunky Vico Mortensen, yes.
Do you think in 90, when is this, 95? Like, how many people still knew the Twilight Zone reference, you think?
A lot.
You still, okay, it's that big? Okay. I know it's a famous scene in television. It's just really, really old, so.
There's another reference in there, too.
John Lithgow.
Well, it's the Shatner
It's
version.
Shatner. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Oh,
the original.
They
was just
did
like
the
a
re-Twilight?
50s.
Oh,
Yeah, they did it again with the movie. It was John Lithgow.
What do you think about Jim Carrey as Ace Ventura doing William Shatner?
He's doing Shatner before Shatner became Shatner, so it's kind of weird, right? He's doing like Star Trek Shatner. Yeah. And he started like having that very specific Shatner speak. I don't know if they quite had that back in the 50s or whenever that original Twilight Zone aired, where there's something on the wing.
It did. I've seen it. Watched it a couple of times. Yeah, it does.
Something on the wing.
Yeah, he kind of did it like that.
Something.
Yeah, something. And then the Twilight Zone movie had just come out a little bit before that,
Wasn't there a murder
and they
one
redid it in that with John Lithgow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of probably in people's minds. I don't know.
I stand corrected.
I don't know. Just thinking.
Well, no, but also with William Shatner, he like did that kind of same cadence when he had when he was calling 911 when his wife was in the pool. That was a very weird case.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, this thing gets got real.
Wait, that's a real.
Pappy's seen the interrogation, I'm sure.
I don't think I've seen that one. What happened? His wife?
So his
Pat Oswalt,
wife.
somebody?
Hey, that case is still ongoing. I'm gonna crack it one of these days. But sorry. William Shatner made a phone. It's not funny. William Shatner made a phone call to his wife who had drowned in the pool, and it wasn't a very stereotypical husband found his wife in the pool phone call. It
Found
was
wife.
my wife's in the pool. She's not moving. I don't know what to do. Like it was very weird.
Maybe
Josh's face.
maybe hop in and pull her out there, buddy.
Just saying.
I can't swim.
Fucking hell.
Are you talking like what was it, Christopher Walken, Natalie Wood situation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Like, no way. Anyway,
And number 2.
let's move on from this.
To get back on track, I want to say
Who murdered people in
no.
Hollywood?
Where does Ace Ventura rank in like the echelon of like Jim Carrey 90s characters for you guys? 'Cause
Number 1.
I feel like
Well,
he's going.
I love Lloyd Christmas. There's only one movie though.
Put my hand through
He's
the
going
ceiling.
balls out in this
Yeah, he's
movie.
going
like,
for it.
And I feel like a lot of times there's not even like a thing written in the script for him to do, and maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like he's just acting a fool, like just being crazy. Like,
Yeah, okay, so John Riggs at one point said, "This is the best part of the movie." And it's just this little scene that I don't think they probably had in the script, but when when Jim Carrey started riding in the Jeep, he just started bouncing all around. And they show it for like 45 seconds, different camera angles and stuff. They like linger on that shit.
I don't think it's an exaggeration to say like 80% of the comedy is like his physical humor. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like at least
That leads
Not
me.
really-
I wrote two things down. One, like, where does he rank? You think, like, especially during this time period, in great physical actors like Charlie Chaplin and Keaton and all. Chris Farley, I guess.
Chris Farley's a huge, he's great physical.
But like
actor,
his
so I think.
movements are just so good, it, like so natural.
Kind of annoying.
kind of annoying.
I think
On purpose. Like, honestly, like,
Just
in this movie.
is it not irritating?
moves-
In this
It's
movie.
supposed to irritate adults, I
not the way he
think.
moves. I don't think. I mean,
His hair and how he moves isn't.
it's
His
obviously
hair
a
is
different
insane.
type of-
I don't like
I don't
his
know
hair.
what's
I think
going
he's
on
like
with his
one of
hair.
the greatest physical actors
Yeah,
of all
he's a
time.
great aggressive
of all
walk in this
time.
movie.
I think so too.
Cocky walk.
He's a great aggressive
It's his
walker.
decade. Like he dominated the box office.
He did.
Yeah,
He
that
did.
decade.
Probably number 3 in the 90s. I don't think.
Why do you like that part so much, though?
It's so fucking stupid. That's why I like it. It's like so. The art of the way I look at it, right? When you like in real life, you got a friend like that who like trolls you and he just goes out of his way to like just do the dumbest shit. And he thinks it's like so funny because I'm that friend in real life. So I relate to it. So it's just like, it's a dumb bit, you know, he's bouncing, you know, and you think like, I think when you first see him, you're like, oh, he's riding across the landscape, and then it pulls out, and the straight man is looking at him. What's his name? The English guy, and he's just looking at him, you know, and he's just like he's still going, and you know, I just relate to it. Like my buddy referenced it one time. He's like, "That's some shit you would do." I'm like, "Yeah, man." So I guess I just relate to him. Fucking menace to society, probably annoying everyone and don't realize it. Cheers.
And then the subway sign just like shows how industrialized this country actually is when it's like got perfectly paved roads. And there's nothing to really bounce around about.
It's a solid bit.
Pappy, we need to get back on track a little bit here.
All right.
So Ace, he's like gone. He's been driven into the jungle in a bouncy ride. I don't care which like plot point you take up, but there's like the tribes and there's like the rich folks he meets. Like, let's start getting into a little bit of the meat here.
Okay. There's a bat that's missing, and Ace Ventura is afraid of bats. Bats are his Indiana Jones.
Inexplicably.
Very weird, right? Yeah. He should like all animals.
He did Batman Forever the same year, by the way. I don't know if that was.
Well, you're not even in a mic, Brett.
He did fight that decision tooth and nail.
What do you mean? To not like
Jim Carrey was anti. He'd be afraid of any animal. Like he like
It's kind of part of the story.
kind of part of the story. Fought that part of the script like tooth and nail for a long time.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. He should like the bat. It's just a bat. You know?
His idea was I should be allergic, not afraid, because in someone in my position, I would never be afraid of an actual animal.
That could have been like him sneezing and just having a convulsion holding the bat.
It's an extra 4 minutes of bits because every time he sees the bat, he has to make like a disgusting
Plus, he
face
throws
and
his
then do
medallion and.
That scene would play the same way if he was allergic. You know,
I
he
just
would
think
do
it's
the same
funnier
things.
that he's scared, but yeah, maybe he doesn't.
What should his
Makes
weakness
sense.
be? You know, he's got to
Women.
have a weakness
Women.
in this one. He's afraid of women.
that bush.
He's such a Casanova.
Yeah, women love him so much.
Butters. Pair of Joker lips. Look at it. Look at it. Look just like that. We have lost two people here.
Stevie's butter impression has been killing me lately.
Did you see it?
The bat is holy to two tribes. Is that the idea? They both look at this bat.
The Wachootoo and the Wachati.
Wachootoo and the Wachiti?
Wachati.
How dare you, sir?
No way.
How dare you mess up these fake
Wachootoo and
names?
Wachiti?
Can I ask Corey the question he hates the most? Could they make this movie today?
It would be a complete ripoff of this movie if they just made it today, Pappy. Yeah.
They wouldn't have time to make it in one day. No, but I mean, with like, you know what I mean? The white guy going to Africa and the two tribes. I feel like people would be like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, well, they're idiots. And
penis.
They wouldn't get past the fake country of Nibia.
It sounds so real.
It would clearly be in Wakanda, and it would be connected to the MCU. That would be the difference. How could they make it a shared universe, you know? They'd have to connect it to the mask or something.
I can't believe that's right.
Yeah.
Wachiti and Wachucha. I just always thought they were talking about the same. Like, did they do that on purpose?
I was weirdly close when I said that.
I
You
thought
were wrong on both of them, and you were weirdly like close.
Wachati and Wachootoo. It's just like
Are they speaking any actual language? Because at one point they said Padme, and Corey goes, "Oh, Padme."
he said that before she said that because he read it on the thing. I'm sure they're speaking a language. I mean, even in Wakanda and Black Panther, they're speaking a real language.
Basically, there's there's a brother and a sister tribe. Describe the sister tribe. You know which one's the sister tribe.
The sister tribe. It's the much more personable tribe that Ace
he sees boobs there.
That Ace visits first. He meets the tribal chief, which he has a loogie off where they spit in each other's face to show affection. And I remember this scene as a kid, but like watching it now, it's like, this is so disgusting. This is like one of the most disgusting things I think I could see on TV.
They come out of that hut looking like Randy Marsh when he discovered internet porn.
Just covered
Brazilian fart porn.
It's a spooky ghost.
It's a ghost. Ectoplasm, I swear.
All South Park references this time, boys.
What else about the sister tribe, y'all? Keep throwing stuff out here. What are some traits? Who are some characters in the sister tribe?
They like to eat guano.
Yeah, they even have like guano, like utensils
bowls,
and
dishes.
And they serve water in the guano bowls.
Guano is bat shit for the listener. Brian, I don't know if you watched this one.
He's seen this one.
It's a important resource for the whole tribe, and I guess it's like important for fertilizer. That's why the bad guy wants it. It has nitrate in it, apparently. So
I feel like bumblebee tuna was something we said a lot when this movie came out.
Yeah.
It's still funny.
It wasn't as
was
big.
bumblebee
though.
tuna a real brand by this time? Okay, so that's the joke. Okay,
What's the bumblebee tuna bit in this movie, Brett?
Wachootoo.
yeah, there we go. That's
But how does it play out?
what does that mean? Well,
Hi,
or they're saying hi to him, and
Yeah.
they're saying
Bumblebee tuna.
Wachootoo.
yeah, but he's Ace and he's an idiot, so he goes bumblebee tuna. That's how he says hi to people.
Well, I feel like Ace is like smarter than he lets on, right?
Yeah.
Like he knows that greeting is a greeting in their language, but he just likes to like be a fucking troll.
Yeah.
And just say like bumblebee tuna everyone, just to like be like in their fucking face about it. Also, when he's on the plane and like the whole thing is being explained to him, and it seems like he's not paying attention because he's looking. I feel like he is listening, right? He's just like fucking with the person telling him the story. I feel like that's Ace's thing, right? Like he's smarter than he lets on. He's obviously the hero and like a super genius detective in a big way. And he likes to troll the shit out of people.
You know what's weird? You know what's weird about that? It's an interesting way of getting someone to say the story again and again. And one way to get it in your brain a few times, but maybe they forget some details sometimes, and maybe you could get an idea for like their own personal like biases if they like keep telling you a few times. Maybe that's digging a little too deep into Ace Ventura's brain, but you know, I do think there's a little Columbo in him, right? A little
Just one more thing.
He says that in this movie, doesn't he? No?
Just one more thing.
That is like a detective trope, though. Is like you're more effective as a detective if people see you as aloof for some reason. You can. It's like an extra weapon you have.
But it's
Ace
like
Ventura, effective detective.
But it's like you guys said, he fails a lot in this movie. He makes that initial assessment of the rich guy, and he's just totally off.
Yeah, that's really funny.
You take it at face value, but it's actually back guano on a shoot, not failed masonry or whatever he says.
Plus, he says Shawshank Redemption, doesn't he? And that's the bad guy from Shawshank.
Yep.
Oh,
So we got the sister tribe. Ace is introduced to the sister tribe first. They're kind. They bring him in. They spit in his face.
they have a seductive
Showing
virgin
bags.
dance.
Yeah, it
As-
seems weird for a conservative type African tribe just to throw the erotic dance right away. No.
Seductive virgin dance. Yeah, it's a little.
Well, she has to be a virgin until she's like 35.
Yeah, but she can stay a virgin without doing that dance.
Fair enough.
Don't we all?
Kylo, I wanted Kylo to take us into the brother tribe. Why does Ace even have to go to the brother tribe? They're kind of mean, this brother tribe.
Oh yes, they're very barbaric. This tribe, right? They're ruthless. They're the killers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Ace has to go there to investigate some shit. I don't know, man. Like, you know,
Is
he
that it?
has to go to a few places, right, in this movie. He has
the
to
thing.
investigate this guy. He's over there investigating. Maybe they intentionally took the bat because they don't want this union to form. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter too much. It's really about the antics. This movie's all about the shenanigans, my friend. Ace has to go there to get into some shenanigans. He has the brilliant idea of blending in just by putting on a mask, right? And just joining their little tribal dance. No one will notice. Nothing weird about this guy. He even takes the mask off at the end, thinking that he'll continue to blend in. But that
Or-
tribe captures him.
Was he blending in, or was that what his like? See, I'm cool. What did you garner from that? That was a huge question for me.
He wasn't very smart.
It's an accident.
Oh, like
Yeah, no, I think he got into it. I think he got really.
he got too into the rhythm of the tribal dance. Where
It was
he
like
had to
Cuban
like,
Pete,
he had to end,
the king of the rumba beat.
he had to end with a flourish, right? Yeah.
I think he's too into the joke. I think he's like committed to the bit, and he knows like he's like it's all just a fucking joke. Like that's why he like does shit like that. That's my excuse in my head. It's like he comes out and he's like I'm dramatic. He's like a drama.
How
queen.
far back would we have to go for the director or Ace Ventura to go like dive in the mud to try to fit in? Like,
Oh, Brett, you're talking about blackface?
no, but I'm saying how they would have done it at some point. They freaking made Soul Man in the 80s. So
Ruined his career.
Probably not in this movie because earlier in the movie, Ace Ventura is shown blending in with chimps,
that's true.
and he just keeps his Hawaiian shirts on.
Doesn't change his clothes.
He does pick the ticks and eat them,
That's so
but
gross.
he keeps.
I like when he's parasailing.
That was a really fun
I think
bit.
that was the most fun Jim Carrey had the entire shoot. The way he throws his body back.
The parasailing thing is just to get the license plate of the car.
We already have like a
Hooked
telescope.
onto the car. Do you need the license?
You don't
plate?
have to parasail. You can just use your fucking telescope.
That's a
He's
funny
committed
bit.
to
That's
the
funny.
bit. That's what it is. You guys, he's committed to the bit. He's like, my job's kind of stupid, and he's like, fuck it, everything's a joke, you know. So like, I'm gonna just make this as silly as I can and have a good time.
Everything's a joke.
He's laughing, I think, in his head, you know, to himself. I don't know.
We got to get back into the brother tribe and some of the antics there because they're unskippable.
Yeah.
The spear part was always my favorite part that made me laugh the most.
Tell us about it, Brett.
So he's got to fight. Well, he's got to go through some tribulations. Got to go over the hot rocks.
He kills a man to go over the hot rocks, by the way.
guy
He
might
completely
survive.
turns him into stew.
What else does he have to do?
He has to kill a pregnant mother.
He has to perform surgery with his bare hands.
He sticks his whole wrist down to get it. Why is that guy eating
That
an apple
guy ate the core of an apple
without chewing it? But he does something else too. But then he has to fight. And I heard you
don't know
obviously
what that's
recognize him,
supposed
Tommy Davidson.
Yeah.
Always loved Tommy Davidson. He hasn't done much since
He does stand up. He's so funny. I've seen him live. But yeah, he was back in Living
in
Color.
Living Color days. But so he has to fight him, and he's like an absolute feral beast of a person.
It's a pretty good setup for the joke because Ace has to go to the circle of death and like face a man in one-on-one
specialty.
unarmed combat. And like, you know, Ace has just like gone through these challenges, no
He's
problem.
tough. He's also beating people up, and
He's
A
beating
pigeon,
people.
a pigeon mascot, for instance.
Yeah.
Or the Eagles mascot, whatever it was.
A very deserving victim.
Yeah.
Next.
Blow me.
Guy shouldn't have talked shit. So this huge guy enters the pit of death, but it's not the huge guy Ace has to fight, right? He has a little guy on his backpack. He turns around, he lets a little man out of his like pack. That's pretty funny. It's a good reveal the way they do that.
Yeah.
I love that he goes there and he does all that shit just to like leave and get hit with the blow dart, and that's what leads him to the next clue. Like, I love that it was like kind of for naught, but it's like he got into some really high level shenanigans.
That's what it's all about.
Love it.
They're there for the shenanigans.
About the bit.
So I didn't really get that they actually fight. And I don't know why the first bit makes me laugh with the punch in the mouth. I mean, it looks so ridiculous. But then he kicks
It's like the trope of someone like shooting someone and they like catch the bullet.
But they do it in the first movie.
in their teeth. Yeah,
He
except
catches
it's
the
a
bullet.
fist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he kicks the crap out of Ace in like a really comical style of putting dirt on him. But then at the end, he grabs the spear.
Really.
And
yeah. Okay.
He's like, just what does he say? Just to let you know, I have the reflexes of a cat or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he throws a spear and it goes right into him. Then he asks Oro or whatever
Awoda or whatever.
to
Auda?
throw him a spear, and he throws it into his others. Ah! It's in the bone. Yeah, so
Well, that guy
always
like
made me laugh.
fucking sold him out. Like
Yeah,
Ace
he was
Ventura,
bad.
Ace Ventura was like, I need you to translate for me. Like I come in peace, and his friend's like,
White Devil says,
I'll fucking kill you all. I'll fuck your whole tribe up, basically. Like,
Isn't
what?
that something a sister would do though? That's what I'm saying. That's the sister tribe aspect coming in.
Yeah.
Got that manipulation
Mm-hmm.
going on.
Why did he do that? Like, what was the point?
What's the goal?
They
of
hate
that?
each other.
But why is he selling Ace
You
out?
want Ace to get
His
fucked
English
up?
isn't good. That's the
Oh,
whole
that's
bit.
what you think it is?
Yes. That's the bit. His
No,
English
I
isn't
get
good.
that. I get that.
So like when he's hearing Ace saying like, say this, and he's like, his English isn't good, so he's saying the wrong shit.
But why is he saying all the right stuff at the end? Why should we take it that he's speaking correctly when they're like, oh, you're a friend to us?
I read it as he's like chaotic. And he's like,
Chaotic good.
He's like, let's get into this war. We're like this far away. Like, White Devil's going to kick your ass. What are you going to do about it? He doesn't care if Ace lives or dies.
The real
He met
villain,
Ace
yeah.
12 hours ago.
He's the loogie guy.
Dude, that guy, okay, you know how there's that guy balancing
Yeah.
on that thing? That's probably this dude's like best friend.
Oh.
And, and Ace has
huh?
been like shooting loogies at his face. And he's like, fuck this guy.
Not loogies, spitwads.
I think one of the jokes that works the best in that area of the movie, Josh, is when his friend gets captured too. Ace is captured by the bad guy. So is his friend. His friend goes, I was captured, Ace. Piece of cake. And then Ace is like, don't beat yourself up.
Piece of cake, like in your movie, Battlefield Earth.
Yeah, because they know what cake
I
is.
could, I could fly a plane.
Or he says no sweat. Yeah.
Those aren't the party and next door neighbors anymore.
Thunder
He
Bros.
says piece of cake.
Does he say piece of cake?
Yeah.
No sweat.
In Battlefield Earth?
In this one.
Oh, I don't know.
In Battlefield Earth, he says piece of cake because you're like, why the fuck would he have that expression as an alien?
Who says it? John Travolta?
No, it's like the cavemen. They say it to each other. Piece of
It's
cake.
like the
piece of
bad
cake.
guy from Kindergarten Cop.
Oh yeah,
Tyson something.
Oscar-winning movie.
Steve E.
Thank you.
Get us out of the, like, we're in this whole brother sister tribe thing. We can get out of that spiral, but Ace eventually starts to get more clues. He's getting a couple feathers. How does he start to, like, really progress the case here?
So this is when he's following Cappy, and we get the whole secret agent man sequence, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he's, pretending to be a hippo. He's going parasailing off his car, which he took a lot of steps just to get a car plate. And, it comes into my favorite parts of the whole movie, which isn't the eating the lion part, it's the rhino part. And I think that's a lot of people's favorite parts.
Brett turned to us and said, this is cinematic magic. Get ready.
It's actually edited when it's out on TV. They take that out of there sometimes.
Why?
Because he's naked.
It's pretty graphic, I guess.
He's so good at being a physical actor that he
Yeah.
made it graphic. That's his brilliance. He's so nasty. The way he comes out of its ass, it's just it's like it's almost beautiful.
There's like one point where it's just his upper torso. He's like, twisting.
You know what got me hung up on that scene, though? Is that he constructed a mechanical rhino.
Dude, that thing costs $1 million. That thing had hydraulics, air conditioning, GPS.
He typically just wears his Hawaiian shirt and tries to act as the animal. But in this particular case, he basically makes, that submarine that went down to see the Titanic, the Titan. It's like that on land. And it kind of becomes that,
It
too.
kind of becomes that same dilemma, yeah.
The horror starts happening.
Can only
in
open
there.
from the outside.
We're going to walk through the scene a little bit, guys, because there's only one reason I've ever wanted to choose Ace Ventura 2. There's only one reason I put it up for vote on the Patreon, and that is because of this rhino scene.
Best scene in the movie, it really is.
It's so unbelievable. I love that he doesn't really get anything discernible out of this.
I was just gonna say, I don't know why he does this. Like, what information does he glean from this whole contraption? I couldn't even tell you.
He sees an envelope passed. That's it.
That was sketchy.
So envelopes passed, Brett. And what's the first sign that maybe things aren't going as planned for
I
Ace
think
here?
it's when the fan goes out, right? That's the beginning of the end. Like, he's in there comfortable, like you said, maybe not air conditioning, but he's got a fan on.
Mm-hmm.
He's so far away, you can't hear what they're saying. I don't know how he can with all that mechanical whirring around. But yeah, then the fan goes out and he flicks it.
Because he's also got video and audio equipment on this machine too, right?
Dude, it's so And the thing is, it's not like they're easy levers. He's pulling with all of his might to get this thing going.
On the outside of the rhino, it's silent. It's just a normal rhino just walking along.
It's like he's operating a fucking tractor or something.
And what does he say? It's kind of hot in these rhinos, which is just
Getting warm.
Have you all ever had a fan stop working? There actually is a thing like you can kind of hit them and they start up.
We have them burn out all the time.
You know what I'm
It sucks.
talking about?
It's like a gear is jammed, yeah.
Is that what?
Yeah, I mean, that's,
Probably like dust.
Explain that, please.
Dust.
explain the mechanics of a fan.
So that can I always as a kid thought that's fake. Like that's just a movie prop thing. But as an adult, I was like, actually a couple of weeks ago, I thought my fan was broke. I hit it. started working for 2 more weeks and then it broke. But still, like,
He's got the dust on.
you hit it.
You teach it a lesson.
He's got too much power in that rhino. Like it shorts everything out.
A lot of power in these rhinos.
It takes a lot of power to move what probably weighs more than a real rhino with all those engines in it.
Yeah, it's like made out of metal. It's like a metal frame on the inside.
Okay, so he's getting hot. The fan goes out. Mikey, his next like idea is just to start stripping off clothes, right?
It's to take off his
Do you like those
his
shots?
swampy ass
Yeah.
drawers,
Sound effects.
You can hear them, yeah.
The sound effects of the drawers are so awesome.
the wettest, sloppiest, whitey tighty underwear that I think you could ever peel off a human body. But
It's so funny.
he throws them off of his legs, and he's like inside Rhinox's asshole, like from Beast Wars.
Rhinox. Good pull.
And then he tries to open up the.
Would you
the-
take
the
off your
hatch.
clothes, Mikey? You think that's like legit?
Hot in those rhinos. Josh.
I feel like I would just sweat through. Would you strip off your underwear? Like, this is gonna make me 1 degree
Probably get
cooler.
a pretty killer rash, but I'd probably keep my
Bear
clothes on.
skin. Yeah.
It's a lot. It
Just
looks
chub
like there's a
rubbing
lot
there.
of exposed wires and stuff.
Yeah, it looks
going
pretty
on.
dangerous.
Pulls the hydraulic line immediately. Like, of all the lines to pull, he pulls the hydraulic line.
Going in his face. Yeah, it's really good.
What can we entertain that theory again that like he's that committed to the bit? He probably knew he was gonna slide out of this thing, and he's in his head. There's a movie, and he's being filmed, and he's the star.
It's the Truman
He's like
Show.
breaking the fourth wall. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it's like the prequel to it.
Well, he made the asshole on the rhino as an emergency, right? Like, it didn't have to be.
Just
that.
wanted it to look real, I guess. I don't know.
He
That's
knew
just
you guys.
Pappy, let's kick it over to you because there's all this swamp, his own swamp ass, and all this hydraulic fluid going everywhere. He needs air. he sees one line of sun poking through. It's his way out, right?
Right, and there's just chaos inside of the rhino at this point.
And the family.
Yeah,
watching.
there's a family. It's an African safari, so there's like a family there on tour in their little like zebra car. They stop to see the miracle of birth, and
it's so good. Like it's unreal.
I think one of the first shots is like Jim Carrey's face just pushing through.
No,
like, the
his finger
plastic.
comes out
Oh,
first,
yeah.
and it's just like,
And like just various parts of his body sticking out, his arms, like I said, his upper torso at one point. It's brilliant. It's amazing.
Did you all watch this with your parents, like I did the first
Oh,
time?
absolutely.
Saw it in theaters.
Yeah.
I saw my dad laugh crying.
Yeah.
He was crying in the theater.
You were so young.
I saw Silence of the Lambs like literally 2 years after it came out. Like I told you, I've seen a lot of movies I shouldn't have, but
Same, but
I saw my dad laugh cry in theaters twice in my life. One was when Austin Powers was like waking up from like a nap or the morning and like they're eating the sausage. Like
at the very end.
kind of in the middle where they're eating sausage and everything looks very like phallic around
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Austin. And that was one of them. The other one was this scene where my dad was laughing like a fucking hyena, crying, laughing.
Right there with him.
A lot of thunder.
I honestly, it's contagious. Like when you laugh at this movie, it's good to watch it with other people because it is kind of contagious.
There's so many details of him starting with his finger, getting his hand and arm out, his face not hitting the hole at all. So you know Jim Carrey's just pressing against rubber.
Dude, I love the shot of like the dad from the family just looking at watching him with like
Because you
Watching him discuss with his jean shorts and New Balances.
powder.
I like the son, the common trope of, and it's not all the time, but when like there's a group of people mortified in a movie, but then there's one who's like enjoying it, you know, and it's like just so out of place. It makes it so funny, and the kid's like, "Cool."
Like with the brother
After
tribe, when
everyone's-
everyone's looking
yeah.
at him and the guys and
Right.
he stands up. He's like interested.
Everybody else is like, and the parents are like, "Come on, we gotta go. We gotta get out of here." It's like could be like dangerous. There's a naked man who just came out. Of
It makes me
rhino.
claustrophobic to watch it.
Yeah.
Like when his head is kind of stuck in there, like I feel like he can't breathe.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that family never actually knew what creature popped out of it. Jim Carrey isn't like a typical human. You could mistake him for possibly
Like an alien?
big ferret. I don't know, like a weird ass baby rhino that's deformed.
A fully grown human man comes out. And
There's
this
a part
family
where his face is
ruined.
pushing, and then his hair like suddenly puffs out too. That's really funny.
I like to think that he is a man, though. I like that they think that he's a man. Because it's like so much more disturbing. It's so fucked.
He was actually being birthed from
It's
her.
so bad. It's like they're like, oh, this is dark.
Like the kids might think that happens sometimes in nature now. You know, when you're a kid and you have these like dumb misconceptions about reality, they might think that this could happen sometimes.
It's kind of similar to how the Antichrist could possibly be born. But anyway, as we move on through this podcast and the plot of Ace Ventura 2.
Ace Ventura might be him, yeah.
The Antichrist?
You see it in his face when his jaw is trapped and he can't do anything. He's like, "Ah!"
Maybe that's why he does everything that he does. He's just chaos. Pure and utter chaos.
When I'm driving the speed demon machine, flying through digits, man, nothing you ever seen.
Where are we at in the plot, boys?
Rhino.
Like,
By the way,
He kidnaps
know we're-
Happy.
if anybody hasn't seen this movie and they don't want to watch it, do yourself a favor and look up this rhino scene on
Absolutely.
YouTube. Like, watch it. It's just a great piece of cinema.
it really is. Stevie, we're past the rhino though. What's happening next? Because like he's still got to find this bat, right?
Right, so he kidnaps Cappy, and we get the juvenile torture scene with the knife and fork on the plate and the pressing of the eyeball, which still makes zero sense to me why that is.
Did you see my wife? She can't stand that. She's like,
I don't understand. It's just an eye.
It's
Eyeball
not your.
stuff is
It's not
weird.
your eye.
Is he doing that for real? Is he really?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Well, it's funny,
You
but
can
I don't
do that.
understand why the guy's like, don't do that. It's like, out of all the things, there's more. There's
He's not
more
touching
thing-
my eye.
Yeah, he's not touching his eye either.
But it's the implication that he will next.
I think it's funny. I still think it's funny.
Oh
That's some
wow!
thunder out there.
Big storm.
You guys see that? Yeah.
What does it mean if my hair's
Wow, that was
standing up?
crazy.
Yeah, we're about to dive in this
Yeah.
humongous
I'm
storm,
just kidding.
everybody.
Next time, if I say that, though, it's real.
You're
So
about to win the lottery, man.
Go buy a ticket now.
Severe thunderstorm watch.
We got a basement. We're fine.
They find out that there's like a couple poachers though, eventually, right, Corey?
Bruce Spence, the mouth of Sauron, is one of them.
And you were pointing that out so hard, and I loved it because I would not have known that at first, to be honest. But
Or movie club.
Bruce Spence, not an intimidating figure as he's supposed to be in this movie, but a gross figure, right? Looking at him,
In many movies.
he's just such a weird looking freak. I love that guy.
he's got a little bit of Papa John's on him.
He's pretty dirty in this movie.
He scared me when I was a kid. Like in that movie, I'm like, oh, this guy's scary.
scary eyes.
This guy's scary and greased up.
He's just got like this
guy's
weird,
very scary.
long, droopy face.
Yeah.
He looks like Mick Jagger's black sheep brother. That's what he looks like. Like he didn't get quiet enough for like the good genes. He just kind of got the leftover ones, and we were left with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's a goon working for the main bad, and the main bad is,
Cadbury.
after all, wow. Is that a big plot point in the movie, Kylo? Do you like this reveal? Do you like where it goes here?
It makes sense for this movie. The thing that like caught my attention is that a lot of 90s movies had a guy like this. I talked about it on the Street Fighter podcast because there just so happens to be the same actor in the movie Street Fighter I did on Big Dumb Movie. His name's Simon Callow. But a lot of movies from this era have like this like stuck up pencil neck villain, this like, not an intimidating figure, but just some rich prick that's just there to get in the way of the hero.
To get richer, too. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's this guy in this movie. And of course, he's kind of up Ace Ventura's ass in the beginning, but he hired him after all. But it turns out he hired him just to cover his tracks. Doesn't really make sense because where they go with this is they try to frame Ace as if he kidnapped the bat, but the bat was already abducted while the Ace was in like the Himalayas or whatever. Some of these things don't make sense, but
And they were
that's
going to
okay.
let Greenwald just walk out even though he had heard all that stuff?
Yeah.
He just goes to the highest bidder, that Greenwald.
I don't know. I think he's pretty loyal.
I like his fit thing he does at the end. It always makes me laugh.
Ace Ventura kicks everyone's ass, and then Greenwald punches a guy, and he's like, "Oh, sorry for the delay, Ace." No, he's just an opportunist.
Absolutely.
And would you see
Is he not?
This is a deep movie, you guys. This is a lot deeper than we gave it credit for. This goes deep. This goes all the way to the top.
My wife pointed out that Greenwald dresses like Van Pelt from Jumanji.
Yeah.
Which is like a 1920s
He
hunter.
dresses like a 1990s safari guy.
Yeah.
He's a little imperialistic.
Like if you went to Disney World at this point in time, all the safari guides were dressed like this.
Oh yeah, go on Jungle Cruise.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was just trying to keep the dream alive with the British imperialist dream there.
Like he's got one of those musket guns with like the wide barrel, like like where it gets like wider as it goes.
Elephant gun.
Pretty sure everyone that's worn that's been pretty racist. So I like Greenwald in this movie, so I'm not trying to put that on him, but it's just like it's a weird
Why does he
outfit.
just flick the light switch? Why is he?
Because like the windows are open and it's in
Windows are
daytime.
huge in that room.
Sometimes Ace goes to a place where you cannot follow, to be fair to Greenwald.
Oh, that's true. But you said he was an opportunist, so
That's true.
he might have just been waiting for the
He's just
highest
like,
bidder.
what's in it for me, Ace?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Some of the jokes in this movie, and of all movies of this era, or maybe all comedies in general, but some of the jokes are just references, right? Like when Ace and all the animals burst into the room to kind of take down the big bad of the movie. Ace Ventura has to like do the skunk thing where he says like, "Say hello to my stinky little friend." It's just a Scarface reference. Is it even a joke, right? Just to reference it. And it's kind of the same thing with There's Something on the Wing, the Shatner thing. It's just pop culture references. They find their way into comedy. And I feel like the worse the comedy is, the more of those there are.
Yes.
HR shoving stuff.
Yeah. It was pretty bad. But he did ride in on an ostrich in that scene.
Yeah,
Was that for real? Was he
That
really
was-
on an
I
island?
don't know how they could have faked
Yeah, I don't know
it
how they faked that.
back then.
They Swiss Family Robinson that ostrich.
It's not a beast of burden. I don't think you're supposed to do that.
There's a quote about that scene where it was like, "This is the only time Jim Carrey was truly happy making this movie."
Riding a fucking ostrich?
Yeah, they were like that filming day was the only time we ever saw him laugh or smile or be kind to the cast.
All right, let's get into this.
It's time.
There's a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. We have like one little act to get into with the movie still, but before we do, Stevie dropped some hard knowledge on us. I didn't know that apparently Jim Carrey didn't like this production all too much.
Jim Carrey for a long time was very, very anti-sequel.
Yeah.
Very. Up until like Dumb and Dumber 2, TOO.
I
And
think it's just T.O.
Just T.O.
Yeah.
There's Dumb and Dumber,
Terrible, terrible movie.
but Dumb and Dumber is worse.
They're both so bad. Yeah.
Is hard to watch.
It is. It's
But-
talking about being a parody. Oh my God.
But contractually, Jim Carrey was forced to do this movie.
Probably making some
And
money.
this is also a time where he was probably the highest paid actor in Hollywood.
He was after Batman Forever.
So what happened was this movie had a $30 million budget. We talked about this before on pods where an actor takes up nearly all the budget and you get a really bad movie. He took up half of the budget for one actor, and it's really hard to skate around that.
Kind of like Aaron Rodgers on Green Bay.
A little
Packers.
bit.
You're taking all
Took
the
a little
salary
too
cap.
much.
Not even close to true.
But, you know, he handpicked his own director. He had a chance to hire Spike. What's his name? Spike Jones or Spike?
Spike Jones.
Yeah.
Spike Jones almost did Ace Ventura 2?
The studio wanted him. And Jim Carrey said no. And he says he still regrets it to this day.
Yeah.
And he handpicked his own director. And 2 weeks into filming, it was just a colossal fuck up because this director didn't know how to block. He didn't know how to kind of get everybody together. Didn't know how to like light a scene.
Real poltergeist situation.
Yeah. And so Jim was like, "All right, you're fired. I'm going to get my best friend to do this." Who's Steve Oedekerk.
Yeah.
and they literally shut down production to rewrite a shit ton because they didn't like the way the movie was going. And on top of this, Jim Carrey didn't want it released for the holiday season whatsoever, so he tried to almost get it like somewhat just off production. So he had a quote unquote illness throughout shooting, which is some days Jim could shoot, some days Jim couldn't. And he tried to prolong it as much as he could to not release this sequel. And that like caused people to like, hey, if I'm not working, I need to pick up other projects, which is what happened with what's his name, Simon Callow. So he picked up other projects, and they were like, no.
Who did he play? Simon Callow?
Cadbury, the bad guy.
Okay.
He picked up other projects, and in that time, they were like, no, we're making this goddamn movie. You need to come back. And he's like, okay, I'll come back if you fly me first class. Yeah. So they were like paying for his lodgings. They were paying for first class to come back and shoot. Well, they had it in the contract that if Jim Carrey had an act of God illness, which is in those contracts, Jim Carrey's illness was an act of God throughout shoot, nobody would get paid overtime for coming back for reshoots. So he was in that time too, since he wasn't doing reshoots, he had to pay for first class and his hotel lodgings. He ended up spending money to be in this movie.
So those act of God things that I guess prevent filming are like more supposed to be like a flood or something, right?
Yeah, tornadoes and stuff.
Not an actor who doesn't want to be in a sequel.
Did he get free TiVo though?
But Jim Carrey's clearly touched by God, as he's proven over and over again in his interviews, movies he chooses, Jim and Andy.
Jim and Andy, yeah, he's got a spiritual.
Who's to say it's not an act of
If
God?
movie bad, why do I like so much?
This explained.
No, but even like Jim, like after this movie was finished, pretty much spoke out against this movie and still thinks it's terrible.
He didn't do a sequel for fucking long after this movie.
No, he also was like saying on his press tour, like, I hope this movie gets banned in many places so no one has to watch
Jesus.
Okay, let me give you guys an
crazy.
example. The Mask 2 was supposed to happen. The Mask 2 was advertised in a fucking Nintendo Power magazine. Remember that old magazine, Nintendo Power?
Oh, yeah.
Video games? You could win a contest to be in the background of a shot in The Mask 2. And some kid beat some fucking game and won that, I'm sure. And what? They delayed it until Son of Mask or something, or they just gave him a fucking VHS copy of the
Here's
original
a coupon.
Mask. Yeah. But yeah, The Mask 2 was supposed to happen. I'm sure that because of this movie, that's the reason he didn't sign up for it.
Is that why Jamie Kennedy's career was ruined? Because Jim Carrey didn't want to do it for a sequel?
Well, you know, that it got pushed back and pushed back. Jamie Kennedy actually has a really great series of videos on the making of Son of Mask. But
Really?
Yeah. It's like his best stuff on YouTube. A lot of his stuff on YouTube is pretty fucking wild, but the Son of Mask videos are really good.
Let's put this into perspective a little bit. Jim Carrey, basically in doing what you're saying,
He's Canadian.
he's
too, so
treating treating all the other casts like shit. And then when they're actually filming the scenes, he's spitting in your face, spitting a spit wad at your face.
That's in the script.
He rewrote.
You have to show him your boobs and pretend like you love him. He's whipping his hair in your face. He's
giving you flat
farting
tires.
at you. He's sticking your butt in your mouth. Like
He's shadow clamping your nipples.
you can't. Like this sounds like a hellscape to be on this
He
movie.
climbed
all
out
of
of
a
a
sudden.
rhino's butthole, though. I think he deserves a little latitude.
I think you're kind of right, though, Josh. It was kind of like, worship me in this pile of shit. Like, it just seems kind of like...
Seems like him, I guess.
Yeah, it does seem kind of greasy because, like, him and Steve Oedekerk went and did a ton of rewrites, and it's kind of weird that, like, out of a 90-minute film, this movie isn't long at
They're
all.
blaming everyone.
It just seems kind of weird.
Because does it explain all the like forced acting in it too? Like when he does his one-liners, like how it's like he's almost breaking the fourth wall, or he is breaking the fourth wall.
Like
It's
looking
like-
at his writing
Because
partner.
he was like miserable,
Like a
He was
glove.
I hate this. Like a
Take
glove.
6.
Yeah.
That is the force. That's the most forced one in this movie. When he says like a glove, it's like
Among many forced.
they
many
liked it
super
when you
forced.
said it in the first movie. You're gonna say it again, right?
All right.
Say it twice.
You like it in this movie?
The part where he rolls into the parking spot, yeah.
Yeah, I love it too. That's funny.
But do you like when he says like a glove?
The second time when he's like, I don't know, it's pretty funny.
Even the first time though, I think like really like what this is like it is funny, right? Like there are so many funny parts in this movie, but at the same time, simultaneously, when I'm watching this and I'm laughing, I'm like, it does seem like someone has a gun to his head. Like when he's acting a lot of
The part that I see that the most, and it's not even an important part, but when like he leaves Cappy and Greenwald to go like talk to the McGuire and that woman with the fur around her neck, he's like, "Excuse me." It's a really weird line delivery. Like, and it's a really weird look he gives too. Like, someone has a gun to my head. I have to say this.
Yes.
We're gonna do one take and one take only.
When he tells that one guy that he must be the Monopoly guy, my 9-year-old self lost his shit. Good Lord, that was so
I think
funny.
that was like the funniest part of the movie to me. Oh, even over the rhino. When I was a kid, I remember explaining that to people at fucking recess. I was like, so there's this guy, and he looks like the guy from Monopoly, you know? He has like the half glasses thing that just has one eye, and he punches him, and he wears him, like he's wearing fur. And then he says, "Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. And people were like, I was like, you know how like when someone's like asleep and you shake them and it looks like they're talking? I remember trying to articulate that. And people were like, no, I don't know what you mean.
Haven't you seen Weekend at Bernie's? What the hell's wrong with you people?
Oh God.
That's so funny. And he's woke too, because fur is bad.
Oh, this movie is political agenda.
This movie is woke,
fucking woke.
baby.
Well, this is an animal lover.
Who is this ghastly man?
Ace Ventura, pet detective. And you must be the Monopoly guy. Hey, thanks for the free parking.
Another activist, McGuire.
Activist. Yes.
Activist, yes.
I've decided I don't like this movie now.
Yeah, John Riggs is fucking woke bullshit.
Mikey, start walking us gracefully to the end right after Stevie says one quick thing.
I'll keep it towards the end, but like Bud Light could really save themselves if they put Lois Einhorn.
Oh my God,
dude.
I would buy all their stock.
I would buy so many cans
Stocks.
of Lois Einhorn.
It might be the only thing that can save them now.
If
They should
they
make Stevie CFO.
if they parodied that
What's her
shit
name?
into Lois
Sean,
Einhorn and Ray
Sean
Finkel,
Young.
I would lose my shit.
Dude, but there should be a hidden Finkel in there. Like each one's got one Finkel.
One Finkel.
A hidden Finkel.
You have to rub it off to get his mustache.
this is fucked up.
Any case you open could be Reinhorn or Finkel. You don't know till you open up the bottle.
What if, wait. No. To make everybody enjoy it, when it's cold,
Yeah.
it's one person. When it loses its temperature.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Boys, we got jobs at Bud Light.
Oh my God.
As it starts getting warmer, she's wearing the underwear, like all like
She
cracked
turns
out.
back into-
Like
She turns back into wait, which one's which? Finkel is
the kicker.
Einhorn is Finkel.
yeah, I know. But
Oh, there you
which
go.
one-
Cleared up.
Which one played football? And which
Finkel,
one was
Ray,
the
Ray
detective?
Finkel and Lois
Finkel,
Einhorn.
right. Okay, Ray Finkel. That's what it was.
Hell of an All-American.
Mikey, I need you to start walking us towards the conclusion of this movie. Ace, he finds the bat. There's this great white bat. He gets it, and even to his disgust, he grabs out of the cage and he stops like this great war between 12 people from happening. No, there's dozens of them.
There's literally dozens of us.
Mikey, just bring us into this like final little like act here as we end the movie, because Ace finds the bat, right? He's the hero.
The spirit will overcome. The spirit will overcome.
Yeah, like you said, he gets the bat through a series of, I think is like one of the best scenes in the movie is the monster truck scene. I totally forgot about it, but yeah, it's pretty awesome. And he has a part where he like flips down his glasses and he's like, that's pretty great.
That's some good shit.
Yeah, he takes the bat out of the cage because it's like lodged in a tree, and it just shows like how great his physical comedy is, because he like does this whole thing with a vine where he like runs into the vine, swings back on it, and like kind of flips over it with the bat like all in his hand, and he's just kind of like running around crazy with it. Doesn't drop it. Yeah. And yeah, he prevents this war from happening because he runs in between these two rival tribes with this bat that they both worship.
Can I have a quick aside? That Vine scene where he's just like drilled in his midsection and like thrown about, that brings back a childhood memory I had running around. We had like this little like treehouse thing, and it had a rope, and I was like seeing how fast I could go around it, and I would tag the rope and keep running, and like that was like what I would hit when I went around. And one of the times, I guess when I hit the rope, it wrapped around my hand and like cinched. And I didn't even know what happened. I was like in the air and just like on my back, and my like fucking yanked, and my arm was like all ripped up.
What was the name of the kid you beat up?
Caleb.
That was justice for Caleb.
Caleb's a homeboy to this day. But anyway,
Broke his glasses though.
have you guys ever had an experience like that where something just like yanks you out of almost like your physical space?
Riding a bike with my shoes untied once, and the lace got caught.
Oh man,
I've never
that'd
done
be
that
so
since.
scary.
I was like 10 years
What
old.
was the experience like? You're just all of a sudden
All
on
of
the
a sudden,
ground.
just like face forward, you know what I mean? Bike stopped mid pedal, like goof, momentum, keep going forward.
Yeah, I remember the first time I got the wind knocked out of me. I was in 3rd grade, and there was this guy like giving me and my cousin shit. We were in the same class. He was a bigger dude, but I was like, fuck you. I was like, what are you going to do? I got up in his face, and he just threw me over his shoulder. Like, he picked me up and threw me, like, I went, like, from one side of him to the other side of him. And I was, like, flat on the ground on my back, and, like, I thought I was, like, going to die because, like, I lost my fucking breath for the first time. Man, that fucked me up, dude. I was like, I can't believe someone could just manhandle me that way. I was the oldest of my brothers, so I was used to doing the manhandling.
And you're just like...
Who's the guy that you followed home and beat up?
Richie. Yeah.
Damn, name dropping some people
I don't think
beat
Richie
up.
listens.
We need to re-rank most violent on the pod. I feel like that was...
Yeah, I got first for some reason.
Brett, you
Oh,
ever
Josh was first.
you ever got yanked out of your physical space before? We're going around the table with this one. You don't have to.
I don't remember.
I did play in football. Went to the wrong sideline because I got hit so hard.
I got destroyed on a kickoff return because of the guy who was built like your cousin Eric, like in 8th grade when he was built like a friggin' shaving. I saw him coming, and instead of like going, I just hunkered down, set me off my feet into another person, and I hit the ground. And my dad was there, and he's like, saw you on that kickoff return. And it was on video. I just don't have it anymore.
Launched you like 10 feet or what?
So far, I don't know. I lost what I was.
You lost your fucking marbles.
Because I wasn't very good. That was in the end. It was like the end. I was like, oh, gotta make my mark. Yeah, I got destroyed.
What happened to you, Stevie?
So it's a block that's now illegal, but I wish it wasn't. It's called a crackback block.
Oh, yeah.
It's where a receiver launches either to a linebacker or a safety. And on a sweep, if you're following the ball carrier, you're not looking you're not looking like next to you or vertically. You're looking straight for the ball carrier. And a dude put his helmet right in my ear hole, and everything went bright white, and my helmet flew off.
Ooh.
And I just remember like my ears were ringing, like I was getting my vision back, and I couldn't hear. And I just like grabbed my helmet and started walking towards the wrong sideline. And like the ref like grabbed me by the back of the jersey.
He had blood
and
coming out of his ear.
I pissed blood actually on that
Oh,
play.
nice.
So yeah, it's,
how long did you play football after that?
Huh?
How many more years of football did you play after that?
3.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm a glutton for punishment. That was like the one time I was actually kind of scared because everything turned white, and you're like, oh God. Like my eyes were open, but everything was.
You're like God.
My eyes were open, but everything was white. It didn't feel comfortable.
Yeah, God's white.
Mikey, got one?
Like Corey, I remember the first time I got the wind knocked out of me. I think I was running through the hallways of Concord West Side, and I came around the corner and I met Jordan Hirschberger right at the corner. And smashed into him, and he's bigger than me. So at that time, so like I got knocked back onto the ground, and I think I was carrying a pencil with me. So I was like shocked at first, like did I just stab myself in the chest with this fucking pencil running around the corner? Yeah,
have us broken off like blood.
But yeah, he like stopped and was like, oh yeah, I think he like knew that I immediately knocked the wind out of myself because I'd never done that to myself before, but Jordan plays sports and stuff, so I'm sure he had done that to himself before, and he was like, I think you're gonna be okay. And he like picked me up, and I just kept running through the hallways. I think I had to like take a shit or something. I don't know what I was running through the hallways for, but yeah, I remember that pretty distinctly.
John, I know you got one too, right?
I had this bully who would beat me up after school every day. Bully that would beat me up mercilessly every day after school. And one day I squared up and I said, I like everything that you can imagine happened to me. Like, you name it, like knocked me downstairs, socked me in the stomach. And one day I stood up, for myself and I said, you know what, Mom? That's enough. Backhanded her. And I said, never again.
I did not see that. That's awesome.
No, I lived in like kind of I lived in like an in-between neighborhood. It was a little rough, but it wasn't like that bad. But it, I got my ass kicked. I got jumped a couple of times growing up. It happens. But you take your licks, you get back. Oh, coolest thing. All right, here I got a good one. Coolest thing that ever happened was when I was 18 years old and I had finally moved out of the neighborhood. I had been out of the neighborhood for about like a month, and it was Halloween, and I came back home to like get some stuff, like Halloween costume stuff, because we made movies even in high school, so I had all these costumes and stuff. And my buddy's little brother wanted to be a Jedi, and so I was going to walk over to his house because they lived on the other side of the neighborhood. So I dressed up as a Jedi, and it was Halloween, but the sun wasn't down yet. Like there wasn't any trick-or-treating yet or anything. And so I walk across the schoolyard, my elementary schoolyard, former, and 18-year-old me walking across, and I'm like wearing like, I'm a Jedi, and I have like the plastic Luke Skywalker green, Return of the Jedi sword, and I have like a cloak on. And
interesting. I mean, the blue sword clearly better, but
okay. Well, I like Jedi Master Luke, or Final Luke, as I like to call him. So I come to the courtyard, or to the schoolyard, and there were all these kids up there, and they're a little bit of a gang, but they were younger than me, and they were messing with. They said something to me. I was like, whatever, I'm going to keep walking. And you're used to it around there. And then there was these younger kids, way younger, and they were picking on them. And I said, hey, don't pick on those kids. And I'm like, oh, yeah, buddy, what do you want? What are you supposed to be? Are you a wizard? They started like harassing me.
And you're like, I'm old Ben.
I swear to God this happened. This sounds outrageous. And I said some words to them that I won't repeat here, and I pissed them off. No. They were Chaldean. No, but we shared a lot in common in that regard.
You're not going to make fun of this weird Jedi outfit.
So I pissed them off. I called them some cuss words in their own language, and because I could speak it a little bit, and they one of them came at me like while I was turned around as I was walking away, and I heard them. They're probably like 15, 16 years old. I'm 18, something a little bigger than them. Growth spurt hit and everything. I hear them run up on me. I pissed off one in particular. Like a couple of the other guys laughed at him, zone guys. So he runs at me, and I hear him, and I immediately turn around. I spin around, open up, like the saber, and I put it right in his face. I didn't hit him or anything. And I go, you sure you want to do this? And he's like, and I go, I went, bitch, and I slapped him with it. Just a little tap, like, nothing. I didn't hurt him. And they all started chasing me, and I ran. I'm running like Ace Ventura. And to make the story even more outrageous, I'm not making this up because I can't. I come around the corner, and my buddy Marco is delivering pizzas for Jet's Pizza. And he's pulling up around, just happened to be pulling up around the corner. And I come running around the corner dressed like that, like a Jedi. And I'm like, Marco, oh my God, he drove this big Cadillac, so I'd know it anywhere. And I hop in. I go, stop. And I hop in. He goes, what's wrong? And he sees all these kids coming around the corner. They're chasing me. They're screaming. They're cussing. We took off. Go, take off. Go. And we got away. Funny.
And you just turn to him and you go, a wizard is never late.
That's right. I wish I would have.
You put on your sunglasses.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Sorry for the off-color commentary on
No,
your...
it's okay. I don't think you heard my response. It was fine. I ran with it. But thank you.
So we got Ace Ventura. Those, I mean, obviously, like a lot of physical humor. So I'm glad we went off on that tangent because we've all been physically messed up a few times. But
we've had some physical humor of our own, Josh.
Yeah, that was very humorous to me. I appreciate it. So Ace Ventura, he saves the day, but Pappy, I tried to see if you remembered this very end scene in the last joke that the movie leaves you with, because the tribes, the brother and sister tribe, are reunited, and the bat's saved, and the bad guys, like kaput. But what's like the one hang up here at the end? Why is it not a completely happy ending?
There was.
Oh, there's a
happy wedding for Ace. Like I said, Ace Ventura is a ladies' man, a Casanova.
Unstoppable.
He did more than just touch tongues with this princess. Apparently, he took her virginity, Josh. And
when did that happen?
I don't know.
Steve?
Right after the rhino.
His body was completely lubed.
I'm so glad that we're talking about this because I wanted to bring that up earlier, and I'm like, I'll wait till the end. I always wondered myself.
When did that happen?
When did it happen?
After Greenwald left the tent.
That's it.
And also,
when he was like,
oh, okay.
She was in there somewhere?
Stevie thought about this.
That's what I've always wondered. Yeah, I thought she was in there though. The first time watching it, I was
when
like,
you're a young kid, you think he's cold. Like that's what I thought, because when I saw this when I was so young, I had no concept.
He's
of
like
what,
warming himself
what jerking
up in
off
there.
was. I thought he was like shivering and cold. Like that's like where my brain went.
I asked my mom what was happening, and she didn't tell me. That's the short of that.
She didn't make something up?
No, she's just like, oh, that was just a weird scene. Don't worry about it.
It's like one of those adult names. No one really knows, kid.
It's like the mafia. Don't worry about it, kid. Don't worry. You just do your job.
But I think after he was like, I'll be out in 10 minutes, I think she probably wandered in there and was like, need a hand?
They should have filmed that scene. The movie was already so messed up. That's like, now that I'm thinking about this ending, that is one of the most, this movie's messed up. This is a messed up movie. This movie is dark, messed up, controversial.
Well, the villain, we didn't say it directly, but the villain's demise is raped by a gorilla.
He was raped to death. That wasn't like...
I said he was kaput. What else do you want me to say?
So dark.
Kaput. Now that's a euphemism.
To death.
He actually asked me, I made a joke that only he heard, and he asked me to say it during this pod. Because we were talking about Congo earlier with Amy.
Oh, yeah.
I said, Amy want rapey. And
Oh, no.
sorry, I know it's not, but...
Pappy, so what were you saying? She's not... They didn't just touch tongues. They did more, so...
Yeah, and I guess the tribe is united. They're not going to go to war. They're united in their
They're
hate
gonna
Ace
kill him.
Ventura.
Do you think Ace Ventura was murdered?
No, not with that confidence at
Is
the
this
end.
a little on her, though? Like, she knows what's on the line for sure.
But the point is, you can't resist Ace.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the guy's just got to get over it, Ace Ventura comes to town. You can't expect anyone to remain a
women
virgin.
aren't safe.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
I know that Ace Ventura doesn't die because there is an Ace Ventura 3, which we didn't watch. We were thinking about watching.
Can we get to that in a little bit?
Okay.
Let's get final thoughts going here. I think we've run the whole entire plot here to death here.
I wish that there was a scene where Ace Ventura gave the gorilla Viagra.
So he had a hand in that situation?
Yes, just to make him like more solidify that he's the
He's
anti-gorilla.
culpable.
Solidify he's just evil. Yeah, he's just evil, and this is the darkest movie of all time.
It's like the Baby's Day Out gorilla animatronic, like leftover. Like it's like doesn't even look real. Like slightly. Like
You have really long arms.
you have long arms. Thank you.
Final thought: I like Spike the monkey. Thought he's a good actor.
How did they tell Spike the monkey, hey, we're gonna tie you down to this raft, but we're gonna let you up in a little bit? Just
This isn't. You're not gonna die.
Those are real screams of terror from Spike.
They're
the
incredibly
monkey.
smart primates.
he's leaning up at one point.
He was
going,
in Night at the
and I don't think he's acting. He's too good of acting.
Yeah, it's not raccoons acting either, if we're being honest now.
They just dropped him.
It's the same monkey as Night at the Museum for real?
Yeah.
Whoa.
He's in a lot of movies.
Prolific
It's
monkey.
the one
He's not
from
Marcel.
Friends,
No,
right?
he's not Marcel.
What's that?
Is it the one from Friends?
That's what I was saying. I don't think he's Marcel.
I'm not sure. I just know that it's the same one from When Nature Calls and Night at Museum.
What about Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yes.
Wait,
Really?
Yes.
He's my favorite actor in Hollywood now.
Oh, he's dead.
Well, R.I.P. I
Okay,
assumed,
thanks,
but yeah, that broke my heart.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
Heavyweights.
Unfortunately,
Sorry about your friend Josh.
not only is he dead, but he lost money working on this film
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
because of Jim Carrey's.
What a bastard.
This monkey wasn't union, all right? You don't got to worry about that.
Union monkey jobs.
I lost bananas on that gig.
Final thoughts, Corey, Brett.
He was also in Outbreak and George of the Jungle.
Outbreak, wow.
He was in George of the Jungle.
He was the Outbreak monkey.
He was the Outbreak monkey.
Actually, he doesn't say that he's in any of the ones, but he was in Ace Ventura, the first one. His name is Binks.
Binks the monkey.
R.I.P. Binks.
Zachary Binks?
Thackeray.
Thackeray Binks.
Nice. There we go.
I got a final thought. There's a little section of the movie that I felt like was like little seeds of Dumb and Dumber kind of like happening at once. And it was when he's like he's in the car with his buddy and he's like making all the annoying sounds and singing Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. That's very similar, except he doesn't have Jeff Daniels there. And then there's also just like that car he has, the way it's like bouncing and driving through the jungle reminds me of like the Shag wagon a lot. Just like, Dumb and Dumber's coming soon. Or had it already been out then?
He was already out by this point.
Yeah. So again, recycling bits for this movie.
yeah.
Yeah, it makes the movie worse in a way. Well, like it adds just like fame dumb of being bad, I guess, in a way. Bad good. I don't know, what do you call this one, huh? It's
Amazing.
It's unique. It is so unique. It's contradictory, kind of. It's like you love watching it, especially like I guess if you grew up with it, you love watching it. But it's like you love watching it, but it's not good.
You love watching it, but you hate to see it.
Yeah. It's weird. It's bizarre. I feel so many emotions right now.
Mostly bad ones.
I think we got all the final thoughts in. Kylo, give us your yes or no, please.
Can I talk about Ace Ventura 3?
Yeah.
This is, of course, sir. This is your time.
All right. Well, this is Corey Kylo Ren memes. Before I give my rating, I just want to say that, we watched this movie on Amazon Prime, and Amazon is kind enough to give you recommendations after you watch a movie, Maybe you'll watch The Mask, and right after you'll get a recommendation for Dumb and Dumber, for example.
Yeah.
Well, we watched Ace Ventura 2 Pet Detective, or When Nature Calls, and we got a recommendation for Interstellar, which now I'm going to
naturally
affectionately refer to as Ace Ventura 3 for the rest of my life.
It might affect what we do on this trip.
It might affect what we do on
Physical
this
reality could be changed because of that recommendation.
trip. Interstellar, just good lord.
Interstellar, Stevie's favorite Timothy Chalamet movie.
One of them.
Are we doing the Ace Ventura Jr. one? Are we being completists?
What is that?
There's like a baby Ace. He's a baby.
Oh, God.
Oh, fuck no.
Dude, stop.
Wait, what? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, it's like a kid.
I know the one where he's a kid.
Ace Ventura Jr., right? Or something like that.
Right here, right now, we're going to do that over Christmas. Break it into 6 parts. Everyone gets time codes.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord.
This is Kylo's yes or no, actually. That's
I'm going to give this a no, man.
Whoa! What the
He didn't laugh at all. I knew he was going to say that.
This movie is not the business, my friend. It has some memorable moments, but they're like a very few and far between. Monopoly Man, Rhino. I don't think they're particularly funny anymore. Maybe because they've been run into the ground since 1995, or maybe they were never funny to begin with. You guys talking about them makes me laugh, but watching it, me and a screen, face to face, mano a mano, isn't doing it for me, right? And that's what a movie is.
Yeah.
But yes to this podcast. This was a lot of fun. I like
What did
being here
Amira
with you
say?
guys.
Heck yeah, brother.
She said she doesn't have anything good to say about that movie. But
Oh, man.
or maybe she just said I don't have anything to say at all. I don't remember. I got her text in there somewhere. But it's a no for me. That's all I got.
Did you like the Jeep scene where he's bouncing, though? That's my favorite.
No.
Okay.
What about when he gets hit with the darts and he's swinging his arms? It's good shit.
Physical
What
comedy.
about it where he's beating off in the tent?
Being off in the tent is kind of funny just because of like how extreme and absurd it is to see that in a movie. And it's like, it's just a fucking guy jerking off. I was 10 years old in a movie theater with my fucking dad. I had no idea what I was witnessing, and I was watching a man masturbate.
What about when he does whiteface and he dusts the entire room?
Yeah.
It doesn't even look like
Could never be done today.
Brett, yes or no, sir?
Oh, this is a hard yes. I think it's friggin' hilarious.
Wanted.
I love a lot of. There was one bit where I thought was really lame, and I just flat out cannot remember what it is. I was watching, I was like, man, it's just not really that funny. But everything else I thought hit pretty hard to me.
Mikey.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because while we were watching it, it's like, wow, I remember every single line and every single scene from this movie that I must have watched probably 30 times. So the jokes, I mean, I guess they don't hit as hard, but when you don't see them for 10, 15 years, it's like, that was a pretty funny movie. I don't know. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. And it's like exactly 90 minutes. So it's like, I'm not going to hate on that. It went by so fast, and it's fun to watch a movie with a group of people. So yeah, it was fun. I had a good time.
Amen to that. It is fun to watch a movie with you guys.
John.
What's the best restaurant that you guys can think of?
Volcanoes Pizza.
Papa John's.
Like we're talking like expensive.
The
like,
French
nice-
Laundry.
Ruth's Chris.
The French Laundry?
Yeah.
Okay, the French Laundry. So you think about your guys' French Laundry, right? That you love eating there. It's high quality food. It's a high quality meal. You love it. Whatever your favorite thing is, you love it, right? And then there's like McDonald's. We've all had McDonald's. And I think you're lying if you didn't say at some point in your life you enjoyed McDonald's, unless you're in the minority there, right? This movie's McDonald's, because it's like, it's not, I don't like it, I don't hate it.
Ba 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 ba. He's loving it.
I think, yeah, exactly. I think it, but why I love it is because it's like it's a beautiful disaster kind of, and there's like some good stuff in it, there's some bad stuff in it. There's not nuance, but it's like it goes so full tilt and being like so nasty, ending the joke on the movie with this like, you know, that he took this girl's virginity. It's a sick fucking joke. It doesn't work today. Yeah. It does not work today, but I'm so glad it exists. And also, I want to say, my mom's actually a good mom, and she didn't really do all those bad things. She didn't hit me. She was just more like verbally abusive, but it was okay. She did the best she could with what she had, and I love her to death. She's done a lot of good for me. Good mom. Good movie.
McDonald's
too,
will kill you, by the way.
Yes, McDonald's will kill you, and so will Ace Ventura.
So yes to Ace, a yes to McDonald's, a yes to your mom.
Yeah, in the most wholesome way. Yeah,
absolutely.
So, yes.
Stevie, Ace Ventura 2, When Nature Calls.
why you gotta make me do this, Josh? Like something hit me while watching this movie, and it was the very beginning when they shot out that ripcord, and that raccoon was awfully close. Like something tells me they did that live.
Oh no!
It's some PA was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. They're like, action!
Pulled the trigger.
Something just tells me this is something a little haywire. I was shooting some of these animal scenes because I don't know what they were doing, but it was kind of strange. But overall, as a movie, I do love a movie that has like its own theme song. I think a lot of other movies should.
It's a leitmotif.
It's it's weird. It is a leitmotif, but there's words to it. Like it was just one word. It's kind of
It's
like
a fake ass word.
the craziest part is you guys brought this up earlier. They fucking play it before we know what it is. Like it's nothing in a frame of reference. If you haven't seen this movie,
That's so funny.
it's literally someone going peanut butter toast, and you're like, okay, like all right, what does that mean? Like it's a strange thing. Is it's like they had nothing to like. They had no money left over to use for like actually use actual music for it. So it's like, all right, we got to use Shikaka, and it makes no sense. But I'll say this. I enjoyed the hell out of watching this movie with you guys. I enjoyed the hell out of potting on this movie with you guys. But chances are I'm never going to watch this movie again. I'm just going to have to give this a no.
Oh. Never again? Wow.
I mean, if I had to pick between Ace Ventura, this would be number one. And I feel like this is just too much of a parody of a character that is already annoying. So I'll give this just a no.
Josh from Goshen. Yes. Duh. But I will say, like, watching this with a bunch of adults did put some of the really bad parts in perspective. We laughed a few times. The raccoon close-up eyes, yes. But there were some times where Jim Carrey's going all out, and it's embarrassing. Like, it's just like not hitting the mark. But that rhino scene makes up for a lot. It covers a lot of ground. I'm going to give this a yes. I'll always remember this movie fondly, and that end plot point is like just really fucked up.
Dude, isn't the movie? Listen, I have a newfound respect.
It's just weird.
I have a newfound respect for this movie because of how dark it is. I'm gonna make my kids watch it on Halloween night.
She's a virgin. She's not 12.
I know.
It's not.
That's an objective way to look at it. But if you look at it from like this, like the era that we live in now, it's like
This era sucks.
I agree with you. I agree with you. The idea of it, and I think how far we've come, and like our intelligence now is like a collective. It's like there's something very off about this. There's something like even if you're like, yeah, I can say and do what I want. That's okay. I'm within my rights.
Oh, yeah.
It's still like it's so fucked. Like this movie's so morally bankrupt. It's so fucked up. But I'm telling you that I love it. I love it. I love this movie because it's so fucked. I have a new respect for it.
It's really messed up. Like, yeah, she can choose to have sex with whoever she wants.
Technically, she can. But that's why she has to sneak around.
Do you think they killed her? Like, they already killed her, and now they're trying to kill Ace?
Killed her.
They got them. They circled the both of them, and it was last of the movie.
That's why
there was no number 3. A real number 3.
Ventura 3. Yeah.
Ace doesn't seem too concerned about her.
I'll
put that out. But if you put that little guy who's like on the backpack,
Tommy
that
Davidson.
dude is also an old, probably virgin, and he is clearly just filled with angry cum that needs to come out. And he's so pissed. He's been waiting so long, and here comes this asshole.
A decade of blue balls just waiting.
That's what I'm saying. He's like...
He can still release it.
He is a full-body blue ball. He is a, like...
walking blue ball.
That's his whole personality. It's
They're
clear.
so solid, too. That explains them so well now.
Yeah, the ultimate incel.
It really makes... This is well written.
The leaders are probably just like, well, someone fuck this guy. Put him in a bag.
Someone jack this guy off.
He's very angry.
Ace Ventura just needs to teach him to masturbate like he taught all of our 10-year-old selves, apparently. Pappy, you're the last
That's why
one up.
colonization happened.
It's gone off the rails here.
I gave the first Ace Ventura a no. This is an objectively worse movie than that. But but watching it with the boys, I gotta give it a hard yes.
Whoa!
All right.
Changing your character arc.
I don't know. Sometimes you just can't be an objective movie critic. Like if I had to watch this movie hungry by myself, like on the night before a pod, it would probably be a no. I'd be all cranky. But just hearing Josh cackling behind me at so many of the jokes was so fun. I don't know. Like, yeah, the girl losing her virginity to Ace Ventura is kind of fucked, but a man being raped to death by a gorilla is so much dirty. A wild, wild movie. I don't think any other actor could have pulled this off, especially not at the time. Jim Carrey at the height of his powers. Maybe he didn't want to be there, but he's still giving a hell of a performance. And for that alone, yes. Hard yes. Vigo yes for the boys.
Amazing. Before we close out any pod, we have to do trivia. And for tonight's trivia, what is this gift we have for the winner?
A prize?
A prize. This is the unofficial ultimate guide to the Fast and the Furious. 98 pages of Fast and Furious.
Who's on the front cover?
Saul Walker.
That's Saul Walker. That's not Paul.
The Rock,
Holy Trinity.
Vin Diesel, and Saul Walker. There's individual character breakdowns. There's a movie by movie breakdown. It's
my boy Shane something.
Priceless.
All right. So for trivia, we're going to go newest to the pod to oldest to the pod, the order that we choose. Thank you, Roman Pierce. Yes. I'll go ahead and I'll go take that for a bit. Okay. So no way. You have to earn this.
You have to earn
The question
it, baby.
is, this Ace Ventura 2 is all about bats, guano. We are all together here in Michigan. According to MSU.edu, Michigan State University's website, how many species of bat reside in Michigan? Jonathan Riggs, you are newest to the Spoilers podcast. What do you think?
I've lived in Michigan the longest of any of us.
You have. So give us like a nice
to.
barometer.
It should have been the last, so I could have had time to check my phone and cheat.
Stevie.
You know, how many species of bat live in Michigan?
According to MSU.
God, I don't know. It's gotta be, I don't know, man. I'm about to answer this like Beetlejuice from Howard Stern. 27, 15, 100.
Just hanging around.
Yeah, just
Is that your official number?
No,
21,
my official,
15.
whatever one's the closest. No. If I had to guess how many species of bat, I'm gonna guess high, what I think is high, and I'm gonna say, oh god, I'm gonna say 20. Let's say 20.
20 just.
20 species of bat in Michigan.
Kylo Ren memes, Corey. It's hard to believe you're the newest, I guess, but we've been doing this for a while. But you are the next newest to Spoilers. So, how many species of bat in Michigan?
I've seen a lot of bats during my few days here, so I got to consider that. I've seen a few different species.
Really?
Yeah.
Like?
Electrodectus mantis was one of the species that I saw that I observed on the way into Michigan. Man bat from
that big one from Batman Forever that's in the cave.
Yeah, Joel Schumacher.
Bat boy.
The big one that's coming at him. That's good.
I'm gonna say 25.
25
because I've observed a few less than that. So
I was gonna guess so much more than that.
There's probably a couple that I haven't seen.
You get your chance to guess, Brett.
113.
113. This gets a little weird here. I guess I would pit Mikey as being the next newest to Spoilers, but I think
He was there from the beginning,
Yeah, were you on
yeah.
episode 1?
Yeah.
He was on episode 0, probably.
Castaway.
All right, let's just go with alphabetical order here. So
Andrew.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Pat would
Pappy.
be first.
I think you guys are crazy. There's 4. Not counting Bat Boy.
Mikey.
I thought I heard somewhere that there's like 15,000 different species of bats or something. Something crazy, yeah. So I don't know, maybe like 40 here in Michigan.
Stevie.
Hey, Mikey's on us. I think bats are something that are like something very narrow can be considered like a different species of bat. It's like a fine one. So I'll say 151.
Mikey's on to something with a guess of 40. I say 113. I get crickets.
According to MSU.edu.
So many more than 25. 420, 69.
In the state of Michigan.
This is for the magazine, by the way. This is huge.
For the grand prize.
Taking all the bat species into account in this pure Tim Allen, Michigan state. There are merely 9 bat species. Happy, you get the Fast and Furious magazine. You get a hot take. You get to toss us out to Spoiler Man.
Oh my God.
Do
the
it all.
ultimate prize.
My life be like, ooh. That was spoilers.
I'm ripping out that Han page. I'm taking that home.
Special thank you to our patrons. Matt Troll, Brother Brian, Nick,
Who is this ghastly man?
The Meg, Nurse Stacy, The Wolf, Barky 420, PK, Spencer, Gale, Swole, Cheese Zombie.
Thanks for the free parking.
Dr. Lar.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Druid King.
Kooky.
If you'd like to request an episode, hear your name read by Spoiler Man, or even just help us make podcasts, please check us out on patreon.com/spoilerspodcast.
The mother rhino is giving birth. Mommy!
That was Spoilers.